the announcement is this. I'm going to be doing a Google Hangout next Friday, not today, but next Friday. And that particular Google Hangout will be focused on primarily one thing. I'm asking everyone to bring their own personal rap to this particular Google Hangout.
I'm going to expose myself on YouTube. I'm going to make a YouTube video embarrassing myself.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I got to tell you about the fabulous, most groovy
Gman. You know you're breaking the law right now. I will stomp a mud hole in you, sir. I am not playing, Dragnauct.
My name is Gman.
You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is Shanny.
You got the audacity. That's all I got to say. You got the audacity. I sold $3,000. You got the audacity. You got the audacity. Because you don't got no evidence.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
So big in this guy be.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey City.
Gman.
You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is Gman.
You got the audacity. That's all I got to say. You got the audacity. I sold $3,000. You got the audacity. You got the audacity. Because you don't got no evidence.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
So big in this guy be.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey City.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries.
Put it in context. I understood what you meant, but
let me put it to you this
people
way.
are going to have fun with that one, man.
Let me put this to you this way, Dave. You remember the whole house situation?
Yeah. What?
Okay.
You
remember when Dragnauct was laughing about me being in the cold? Guess what else I had to pray away?
The violent thoughts, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, me going in that basement, taking an assault rifle, going over to Texas and blowing his head off.
Oh gosh, you probably should. It's probably not a good idea to say stuff like that.
I can say this in public because I know what I'm saying in context.
In context, folks. In context. You wanted to blow my head off with. I think I said on Twitter. I said shotgun. I wasn't paying too much attention, honestly. I was watching my wife play VR. Wow, that's man. It's if y'all did not catch that Gman did say that. He also offered some very violent words towards the Geek Room as well. Congratulations, Geek Room, for reaching the level of drawing his ire to that point. It will not be the first time. Well, it is the first time I think for y'all, but it won't be last. This is going on almost year 10 with him and me, and yeah, kind of a normal thing. So anyway, it's a twinkle in his bloodshot eyes. Yeah, man, he was happy. There's a bit of glee when he talks about using a weapon he's never held before and firing it, which takes more than a notion. Some people don't have the wherewithal to do that, and he's one of them. Anyway, yes, a few people reached out to me Actually, I talked to a few people after that. I talked to Faithful to God, the guy who Gman tried to divert funds away from. Did divert funds away from. There's a reason that Gman cannot call him directly, and you can put two and two together. Anyway, yes, I did talk to Faithful, and he is thankful for those of you who have given to his GoFundMe. The medical bill situation has been mostly resolved, and so any extra funds will go towards him kind of helping make ends meet, because his father was again the primary breadwinner. So which you will be donating to will be more so kind of bills in the current sphere, because of what he does. COVID obviously impacts his income. So he wanted to let everyone know that he is thankful for that, but he is, unlike Gman, very, very, very up on having integrity and transparency with anything dealing with money. So I wanted to let people know exactly where your donations go. And if you are a fan of Lord Aardvark, I just subscribed to his Patreon. Anyway, now, some of you have been asking, some of you have been mentioning the infamous, the illustrious UTI story. As it turns out, it's in this video. We thought it was a separate video. No, this is a over 2 hour long video. And what had happened was someone cut out a section of it, a portion, and that's why many of us thought it was a separate video. No, it's in this video, and I do have the timestamp, and I'm going to actually just play it from here to let you guys hear the actual UTI story for yourself, and then we're going to progress into the confrontation between Shanny and Gman. Now, these exchanges happened between the 24th and the 28th of January 2019. This happens after, technically, the confrontation. So, again, the videos were not necessarily in order, so I'm still giving you a reference. So even though we covered part 3 and part 4 in that order, the videos that you're seeing from Shanny and Gman happen in between the time ranges. So just to let you know, yes, Faithful to God's father passed away. He was the primary breadwinner of the household, and so his faithful sister, upon hearing the news, actually ended up having a heart attack and being hospitalized in the same hospital, interestingly enough, a few doors down from her dead father. So then Gman decided it was a great idea to divert funds away from a GoFundMe that he had nothing to do with, and tell people that it was run by people with unscrupulous character, essentially. And so that hurt the overall effort. So that is the really big sore spot for that, because I've participated in numerous charities and numerous ventures to try and help out people ever since I've been on here, and this is one of the few times I've gotten pissed because of my involvement. My direct involvement has been thwarted by idiocy, and so I intended on making up for that, because Faithful, believe it or not, is actually a pretty good friend of mine. He and I talk several times a month for probably hours, actually on topics of theology, people's personality. We talk a bit about the Black Hebrew Israelites, because I actually do watch some of his stuff on Facebook, and so he is my primary source of information for anything and everything Black Hebrew Israelite, and not this idiot. So he is actually pretty good at what he does. He actually got pretty pissed yesterday, and I was laughing at him on text message. So anyway, Dragnauct, I would report to the cops. Someone's already done that, actually.
G-Man using a weapon will end just as badly as taking a chair shot to be a wrestler.
Yeah, it's not going to turn out very well for him. So people have spoken to the police in New Jersey. There's not enough to go on to actually do much. So if you're wondering what came of that, that's what it was from my recollection. Again, I did not contact a goddamn person. There's people who contacted the police, and somebody actually sat down and gave the cop the story that G-Man told, and there's a recording of that conversation. So, and then supposedly the cop is saying, hey, that is actually very illegal. So that is out there, and I believe that person may or may not have wanted others to hear it. I'd have to go and check my messages. Anyway. Oh my God. Y'all want to see what's going on with Shanny? Let me read this real quick. This is I guess 10 hours ago. Maybe I don't make my old content anymore because I'm too sick to do anything else. I barely have the energy to play video games. Jason does the majority. Thank you for the comma splice, Shanny. We can tell that you've never passed high school. My health is fallen. My health is fallen apart, and dealing with drama daily, and the stress is bad for my heart. And here I thought it was the plaque. I can't even walk to the bathroom without feeling faint and dizzy. And so, to give you an idea, my bathroom is about 14 feet that way. Approximately 14 feet. It takes me all of 3 seconds of walking to get to my bathroom. Maybe 5 seconds. Okay. Her bathroom, I believe, is actually less than that from the angles that we've seen from certain content. I want to say their bathroom door is a lot closer than mine. I can barely even walk, and the pain, that's another comma splice, and the pain levels are so bad, I'm on pain patches, ... I'm always tired, and then I have so much trauma, I dissociate hours throughout the day while going to therapy and realizing it's doing nothing to help me cope. Okay. Every night I go to bed with the realization it could be my last ... Every step could be my last. You don't live on the 3rd floor, so I don't see you falling through it. That foundation should be pretty solid in Denver or wherever. I just don't know when my heart will give out ... Also, I refuse to die at a hospital. I want to be home with my boys and my cats. Notice she didn't say Jason. Maybe she's including Jason in with the boys, but I mean, all right. I'm in a horrible state. It's weird that she uses commas when she doesn't need them, but the places she's using ellipses could use a comma. I don't get that. To expect me to be the same when I was healthy is cruel and not even fair. Shanny, there's never been a time I've watched you on the internet where you've been healthy at any point. I'm going to just tell you right now. You've been lighter, but you've been not healthy the entire time I have ever viewed you. To expect me to be the same... Oh, I'm sorry, I read that already. I can't help... I'm helpless! People at Tulu says, thanks for the interaction, Master Drag. You're welcome. I can't help... I'm helpless.
Freedom! Freedom!
Gravity, Shanny's mortal enemy. That and is wiping.
I can't help, I'm helpless. So you mean to tell me, Shanny, that people are forcing you to sit on your ass and order DoorDash and Waiter and Favor all day long? People are forcing you to do that. People made you do that. People are making you sit in your bedroom all day long and piss on Jason. Okay, all right, cool. Absolutely. Shanny, get the fuck out of here. I can't help my heart. I can't help my heart failing me. Cut me some slack for once. I'm going to cut you as much slack as you're cutting that bed. How about that? This is just pathetic. Absolutely fucking pathetic. Jason's mad that I'm laughing at her fibromyalgia. When she gets a serious diagnosis, I won't laugh at it, I promise. That's just pathetic. Favor is another. Favor is another what you call them app for ordering food. The only difference is that you can customize what you want. Like if there's a secret menu, you can type in the stuff, and then the person goes to the store or the restaurant and they order the stuff, and then they tally it up later. So you're not stuck with the kind of pre-designed food choices that the restaurant has on there. So for instance, when I want to order Five Guys, there are things on Favor has things on their kind of pre-made menu that doesn't exist on Waiter app, but then there's a custom item option on Favor that I can say, hey, instead of this, put this. The perfect example, if you watch the Yuck Bang, I had a plate of shrimp. The options that I put on my shrimp, because I actually go to this place called Crab Kings, the options that I know exist in the restaurant aren't on the menu, so I put that in there in the custom item thing. Some restaurants have a little thing at the bottom to modify existing items, but this one lets you add a custom separate item. So if you've not checked out Favor, go check it out. It's pretty good. And they also order from places outside of their normal range, but they'll just charge you a little bit more. So that's another reason I like Favor. But the downside of that is that you can't really calculate beforehand how much, like they won't tell you how much it costs. They'll give you an approximation.
Freedom.
Shanny, the only person that has been banned from Grubhub.
Oh, how do you know that? All right. Anyway, all right. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Shanny's upset. We've heard a few different incarnations of why Shanny is upset. The real issue, as Gman likes to call it. We've heard the original that has to do with the Jesus H. Christ guy, the actor with the long hair. We've heard, hey, Shanny saying to G-Man, look, you were supposed to spend money that you begged me for to keep your phone on. That was part of the deal. You're not doing it. What's going on? We've also heard other people be implicated into this, including Ms. Star. If you don't know Ms. Star, she's been kind of an antagonist to Shanny and G-Man at different times. And we've also heard him implicate the Dragoons, some of you all. So now you are going to see some of those implications sort of disappear and other ones come to the forefront depending on what G-Man needs to say in the time. So even if you ask G-Man now about who did what now, it's going to align more with what Shanny wants him to say instead of reality. And you will see G-Man's integrity fade away, if it was even there in the first place, based on what he needs to say in that moment to feel like a victim. So, I saw her porn yesterday. I wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but I had to stop when I saw Rev's gun. Yeah, he's nasty looking. He is nasty looking. You can't stop laughing at the thumbnail. So, Ali Fox made this thumbnail, and let me make sure. I want to say it was Ali Fox. I want to give him credit as always. If y'all like it was Ali Fox. So, big shout out to Ali Fox. Peter Went also made a thumbnail, and once I find the video to go with it, it is going to be awesome. Peter Went made a Sub-Zero wins thumbnail, and it's Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat punching G-Man in the face. So once I find the Long March video, we're in business. So let's get to it.
Here, okay? Listen to this. Hold on.
Especially when you're dealing with two white rich people compared to one poor black man. I mean, logically speaking, G-Man.
Oh, some of you probably didn't hear that. Some of you probably didn't hear that, so I'm gonna let you hear it again. This is going on the news. Let me play that again for you. Let me play that one more time. Let me play that again.
Especially when you're dealing with two white rich people compared.
So when people ask me if I'm concerned about Shanny, I'm not so concerned about her. This is like this right here. I don't. Whatever you want to call this is unacceptable. This is Shanny trying to use, we'll say, certain notions out there for her advantage. Now, if she doesn't like Gman, she thinks he's a thief and a liar. That's fine. But you tell me what is. I want to really hear a good excuse as to why she needs to frame their disagreement in this manner. Why is that? Why is this necessary? I would love to hear Shanny apologetics on this because the concern that I feel for her is lessened the more I hear her speak. If she is in serious, actual dire straits, you know what? I'm not so insensitive that I would just make fun of that. But all the little histrionics and stuff that she normally does is so that she can get away from criticism for saying shit like this.
Let me do that again. Remember, she set me up. All right?
Now, here's what's interesting. Shanny set him up. He decided that he wanted to move in the house prior to having any type of paperwork. He didn't sign any lease. He didn't sign any deeds. He didn't even have a key. He wanted to move in ASAP. And so he was set up by Shanny. That's the narrative now from Gman.
Didn't want the house. Didn't ask for the house. You gave me the house.
He didn't want the house. He didn't ask for the house. He was given the house. You can't give me something I don't want unless it's like a UTI, which, anyway. It's interesting how Gman absolves himself from any responsibility. No one put a gun to his head and forced him to move. Nobody. No one forced him to move into the house prior to having any type of documentation. Nobody. But Gman refuses in any scenario to take any responsibility. This is one of the reasons he was kicked out of Shield Squad, honestly. This is one of the other reasons he doesn't have any friends in real life, because he can't do this sort of thing to people, except, you know, people who keep him at a distance. So that's something that Gman has not learned in his 40 years of living, that his childlike mentality has consequences.
Especially when you're dealing with two white rich people compared to one poor black man. I mean, logically speaking,
I need all of the Hebrew Israelites to share this all over the net.
Now, stuff like this. If some of you were watching him this weekend, you heard him say, Dragnauct's telling people I'm a black Hebrew Israelite. I've never said Gman is a black Hebrew Israelite. I said that there's a lot of overlap with the things that he believes and they believe. There's a lot of overlap between me and Emperor Atheist, except when it comes to a lot of social issues. And so that doesn't mean that I take on all the characteristics and personality traits of that person. Now, of course, that's just a little bit of nuance that he wants to ignore. Why, Gman, if you abhor these group of people, these black Hebrew Israelites who they're taking Christian doctrine and they're perverting it and they're forming cults to harm people, why would you give them ammunition to do what they do if you hate them so much? That doesn't make sense to me. But because you're upset with Shanny, you would then go and help the black Hebrew Israelites. Well, does Gman have a habit of doing this? Oh wait, when he was upset with his Christian brothers in Shield Squad, he did the same exact thing. In fact, he spread a vicious rumor that one of them, get this, had cheated on his wife. How many of y'all remember that from the last saga? G-Man's favorite lie that he likes to tell. That lie was absolutely false. And then when challenged on it, he said, I just had a rumor. What did you expect me to do? Like you didn't have any option on whether or not to vet that particular piece of information. You had to tell black Hebrew Israelites who are looking for ways to discredit Christians, and so you're going to spread more misinformation about a fellow Christian brother because you're angry, and you're going to help their sworn enemy, because that makes sense, because that's what an adult does. P. Batulu says, you can't give him something he doesn't want, like them gay thoughts he don't. Oh, wait. Yeah. He doesn't want those gay thoughts. Of course not.
Something needs to be done about this. Okay? Something needs to be, like I said, I'm going to wait for her little friends to come back over here again and let them hear that.
I'm not sure why Gman thinks that people in that area don't agree with Shanny with her depiction. I'm just saying, it's Grant, Pennsylvania.
Okay? So tell me something. For those of you who are watching, what's your opinion of Shanny? Huh? Obviously, she's into slavery. She don't believe in paying people for labor done. What do y'all think about her? Because I'm telling you, I've never cussed on YouTube before, but I'm telling you, you have never seen me so close as I am right now.
Now he wants people's opinion.
Is a slave master. She believes that you should not be compensated if you work.
She's a slave master. He wanted to fix the house. She gave him permission.
Oh. I'm looking at the wrong... Okay, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong live stream. Okay. I was so mad I didn't even read the thingy here. I don't even know who's watching. I'm looking at the G-Man versus the Hebrew Israelites, and I'm on G-Man versus the well. Wow, that was just plain stupid. I gotta laugh at myself on that one. Just wow.
Yeah, he had a real bad habit of going live and not knowing if he was live. I'm not like what channel he was on. It probably didn't help he has 50 channels because his ego is so fucking big. But if you look in the top right corner when you go live, you can kind of tell what channel you're on because the icon corresponds with the one that you assigned to the channel.
So guys, like, what do y'all think about that? Like, what do y'all think about that?
Yes, he was living in. So let me just kind of reiterate real quick. He was given a house in a different state, given an entire house for nothing. He didn't pay rent. He didn't do it. In fact, he was given money to stay in the house. So let me show you here again. Let me show you receipts. He actually contacted he contacted her and was begging for money. Because guess what? He didn't want to get a job. So this right here is one of the, there we go, screenshots where Shanny was sending money to different people. You see Hannah Stout on there, Shanny's former friend. You see John Gasala. You see Gman. $100. This is December 30th, 2018. This was about a month prior. Gman had just been given money a month prior. This isn't the only screenshot either. There's others, I gotta dig them up. But Gman had already been given money a month prior. So keep that in mind.
Said that I'm a poor black man going up against two rich white people, and this woman doesn't give me a grace period and is trying to throw me out on the street. I was doing fine in New Jersey. When did you ever hear me in New Jersey say I could not pay my rent? I was stacking barrels and I was able to pay my rent. What are you talking about?
And he got mad when I called him a barrel stacking loser.
You didn't see the videos when she used the N-word. You didn't see when she said she don't want no black broke N-word. You didn't see those videos. But trust me, all throughout 2019, 2020, I might even include it in my intro from now on to remind her about how many times, to remind her every day what kind of a human being she is and what kind of person her mother raised. Her mother raised a racist.
Her mother raised a racist.
Her mother raised a racist.
It's so funny. Racism matters a lot to Gman in this time period here. You talk to Gman now, and it's less important. It's amazing. It's almost as if calling someone racist or being a victim of racism is only important when Gman is the direct recipient of it. Very interesting, isn't it? Compare what he's saying in this video to what he's saying now, and you'll see that Gman doesn't actually care. Gman has some weird aversion, or maybe it's just an incapability of actually empathizing with others. He can only understand things that impact him personally.
And you want to know what's crazy about this? How many of you remember all those videos last year? G-Man, I'm in love with you. You're G-Man, I want to make a video about my boyfriend. G-Man, me in love with you. Yo, I'm telling you, I'm the smartest one. Chippy, the Ed ain't got me beat. Red don't got Red. That's all you, bro. That's all you. Must be crazy.
Now he's upset with slavery. Slavery is a bad thing now. Trust me, that was one of the reasons I was laughing at him, is because he got on the internet. He's known for downplaying slavery. Now he's complaining that he's a slave. Like, it's the irony couldn't be greater. G-Man is upset that I laughed at him because he was a little cold. Well, I was also laughing at him for this. All this rage was delicious to me. Absolutely. And I still laugh at him because it's what he gets. I honestly think this is what he deserves. Baptizing Fire says making rent stacking barrels thought was fired. Ha! Ha! Weird, huh? Baptizing Fire. Real weird, huh? That's okay. There is a video where he talks about predicting that he was going to be fired well before he was quote-unquote fired.
If you don't know, this is a fundraiser. The link is in the description of this video. I need to get my hands on rent and security in a very short period of time before Revelation News accomplishes its goal and have me sleep outside. Because apparently I'm trying to steal this house. And this is for Shanny's mother, one of the most gullible dummies on YouTube. Number one, I didn't ask for this. This was offered to me. Listen to me very carefully, ma'am, okay? I did not ask for this.
He's a victim. It's not his fault.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of something. I can't talk right now.
I'm live and I'm angry. I can't talk.
I didn't ask for this house. See, everybody keeps lying about me and saying I took this house. I don't want this place. I want to get out of here. But I can't because I don't have no money.
Now, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? That you came to a house, really didn't have much money, and then said that you weren't getting a job. That's your fault. That's all on you. If I come here from Maryland and I don't have money, that's my fault. If I come here from Maryland and I don't get a job, that's my fault. It's not his fault. Any one of you all out there, when you move and you don't have money and you don't want to work, that's on you. You're an adult. When it's G-Man, it's not his fault at all. He doesn't share that responsibility. He's not a big boy yet.
I want to get out of here, but I don't have no money. And I'm not going to some shelter because this lion barracuda.
Now, when I say that G-Man has money issues and that all of his behavior surrounding other people's money is a little bit suspicious to me, this is what I use for that. This right here. Stuff like, because again, this isn't the first time he's tried to get money from other folks. And you will see later when he talks about this, because this is the first time he's publicly saying, hey, I need money for this right here. You will hear in a later video that G-Man acknowledges that he should have kept people in the dark so he could have got more donations. He thinks that he's not on air, and he thinks he's talking to Brett Keane and a few others off air, but Brett Keane had already gone live. unbeknownst to Gman. And then Gman let slip, oh, I should have stayed in the house a little bit more, a little bit longer, so I could have gotten some more donations. He ended up doing that and getting more donations from David Weiser. But he could have built some more from different people and not telling them he already had money and a place to stay. That's why he withheld that information.
Told me I'm gonna give you a house, and then changed your mind because I made a YouTube video you disagree with? When you see that $50,000 lien I'm gonna put on this house, you ain't gonna think that's so funny no more. Because that I very much can do. What's dumb about this is winter. I really hope she comes back here. Because one of those windows I never even got a chance to fix. She's gonna freeze her behind off when she come back here. She'll see. She'll see. But I'm gonna get my money. I promise you that it might take 8 years, but I'm gonna get mine. Trust me. Because they won't be able to sell it. They won't be able to do nothing until I get what's mine. Period. So, if you guys, for those of you who are watching that are Christians, I'm not asking she calls herself Big Mama, right? Man, when you guys see the videos I'm gonna make in the future, man, you guys ain't got no idea what I'm gonna do. And no, they're not gonna be fat jokes. No. I'm not gonna go there. I ain't got listen to me, I got more.
He ends up going there in quite a few videos.
Creativity than that. A whole lot more creativity than that. See, when I came in and did all this work, I took pictures of everything. 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 This woman's a slob. You don't believe me? Let me give you guys a little hint.
Pretty sure none of you knew that already.
Show you all the free work I did. I'm about to show you the upstairs or the downstairs or the bedroom. Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay, so let me show you something here. Now, some of you might want to go get a barf bag. No. I really should wait until I move. I should wait till I move. I'm just so I've been wanting to say something for days and days and days, but I'm going to give you a little hint. Let me give you a little hint. All right? Because, you can get permits and you can get like certain things for certain houses.
You have to scroll past all the dick pics.
Without having the owner's permission. You know what I mean? Let me show you something here. Can't do a roof work in Scranton without a permit. You have to get permission from the owner. This woman got me to do it for free. I want to show that picture, but I can't. Let me show you something here. I'm going to show you guys something minor. I'm trying to show you some of the work that's been done. Just give me a second here. This is how the roof looked when I first got here. Well, one of the roofs. One of them. That's how it looked. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It was indented. You should have seen the inside of the place. Right over there. You should have seen.
Now, some of y'all may not have been able to see it clearly, but there's quite a sizable hole in the roof. And supposedly it was caused from Shanny and Rev, for whatever reason, leaving the ACs on. They know that they're moving out of state, but they just left everything on. Fuck it, why not? Because that's what responsible adults do.
See how it looked. But like I said, I talk about somebody's hair length. I work for free. I work for her, and I don't get compensated. I don't get compensated. I'm going to let everybody know just how serious I am, and I'm not playing. Give me a second here. I'll Google real quick. Again, if anybody wants to help me get rent and security, that'd be great. I'll have a calmer fundraiser a little bit later, but I'm very angry. Guys, I almost had a heart attack today. I was stressing so much because I had to be quiet. I couldn't say nothing. See, my personality, I'm the kind of person that has to express himself. a certain way. I have to.
Now, so this is Gman's excuse for why he has poor impulse control. This is, again, and I'm going to defer to my experience with him over the last 10 years and my experiences with him in person. He has little to no self-control. What he's saying right here is that he's acknowledging that he has no impulse control. He's just, you know, like an unruly 6-year-old in a movie theater. That's what he's talking about. And so, since no one has held him to any type of standard of, you know, adult social decorum, he doesn't have to behave like an adult. It's okay. That's just God working through him, or that's just Gman. That's bullshit. And I was embarrassed to be around him in public because he acts like a fucking child. And so when you hear him talk about what I'm unwilling to do in public, that's because my mother raised me right. Yeah, I'm not going to climb on statues. I'm not a fucking child. I'm not going to start hollering and preaching and just be a loud, obnoxious asshole indoors, which was a constant issue with him because for a 40-something-year-old man, he doesn't know how to control his voice. Something my 9-year-old knows how to do. So that's what he's talking about here.
All right. 5 o'clock, about 4:45, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm pacing back and forth. Because upstairs is like a bedroom. It was from one bedroom to the other. I had to pace back and forth. And I couldn't breathe. Like I couldn't breathe.
Good.
That is how mad I was.
Excellent. I'm
about
glad.
The entire situation. To have to cut my computer on and listen to people saying I'm trying to steal something that I don't even want. And I just want to be compensated for the work that I did. You and your mother's a slave master, Shanny. And don't you ever let me hear you again.
Freedom.
Have some money, Drag, just to annoy G-tard.
Thank you.
Talk about how evil your mother is. You're 4 times worse. 4 times worse. At least that woman's got a heart and cares about you a little bit. You don't care about her at all. But I'm sure I'll get a fake video later after you pay her and whatnot, and you guys get along. Everybody on YouTube knows in about 3 months that's going to go down the toilet.
Now, what did Gman just say? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Let me play that one more time. What did Gman just say here?
I stole $3,000.
Hi, Gary. You have accomplished nothing in 50 years. Exactly. What did he just say?
Her at all. But I'm sure I'll get a fake video later after you pay her and whatnot, and you guys get along. Everybody on YouTube knows in about 3 months that's going to go down the toilet.
Now, the G-Man, it's amazing. You're saying that Shanny pays people to get along with her on the internet, and then it turns sour after a few months? You don't fucking say. G-Man, has Shanny given you money recently, and have you made a video being all hunky-dory with her? It's amazing that you say this, G-Man. Why do you think it's so easy for me to catch you in lies, G-Man? I had this for years. Don't you think that when I heard that Burnt Toast was making that video, that I was laughing my ass off? You must have forgot you said this. Oh, I knew you said it. But you forgot, obviously. The same thing that I'm saying about you, you're saying about Shanny's mom. I didn't just make that up. I watched you. You're saying it. Let me play it one more goddamn time. One more motherfucking time.
Fake video later after you pay her and whatnot, and you guys get along. Everybody on YouTube knows in about 3 months that's going to go down the toilet.
Wow. Wow. So let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit to Dick Flu. The rest of a lot of this is gold. A lot of this is gold. Let me fast forward.
in my life. What? Oh, let me see something here. Give me 1 second. I'll let you guys know what I'm looking at here in a minute. It's apparently. Give me a second here. And I think I'm coming down with the flu. I doubt that's what it is, but I think I'm coming down with the flu because I have not been eating lately. The urine's been burning when I go to the bathroom, and I'm like I said last. I have not been sleeping well lately.
Really? Let's. What were those symptoms again? Hold on.
I have not been eating lately. The urine's been burning when I go to the bathroom, and I'm like I said last. I have not been sleeping well lately. I just haven't.
Wow, that's interesting. Your pee's been burning, so I guess I can figure out what you've been doing with your free time. That's not the flu. Don't think that's the flu, buddy. Think that might be something else. Just saying. So if y'all want to know, this is where the infamous dick flu story came from. He forwarded this little bit of information. So yes, if you were wondering, this is the dick flu. So let's go forward. All right. This actually happened beforehand. What you just saw was a few days later. So Gman's upset. Gman's trying to call out Shanny. They're having a confrontation.
Coming here so I can show her my PayPal and just remind her about a couple of things. Then, like always, and I mean 100% of the time when she comes in here and she sees that she's wrong, then you guys see what I'm talking about. I believe that she's doing this for attention, and I'm going to prove it. So if she could stop playing with her video game and come in here, that'd be great. You understand? Me, I'm a real person here. I'm a real man here. All right? You're making a lot of claims here, Shanny.
He's a real man. Okay.
And I'm not the one running from you. You're running from me right now.
What did you do with my money? What did you do with my money? Because I got the receipts.
I'm glad you got the receipts. I wonder if you remember why I got the money to begin with.
The receipts.
Okay? And this is going to be a very good lesson for you guys. Do not receive gifts from anybody on YouTube that say that they're a quote-unquote brother or a sister if you know that they don't have any self-control with information and whatnot. Because right now, any blessing that she was going to get from Jesus went out the window. She obviously didn't do that for Jesus. And Shanny, if you want to know what I did with the money that Rev gave me, I can do that. Okay? You want to get technical with me? We can actually talk, okay? Now, here's a video with Rev on here, who I don't have a problem with. Rev has been manipulated by Shanny to make this YouTube video. I'm going to show you what happens here with this video.
When people use me for money, I usually drop them pretty quick, so that's the case. So yeah. Is that all you have to say? Yeah. All right.
So basically, her whole argument is that because my phone's been off for about 2 or 3 days now. Right? It hasn't even been off that long. It's been off for about what's today? Thursday? Was it on for the G podcast? Was it on for the G podcast? Okay, it was on for the G podcast. I believe Wednesday is when it went off. Yeah, Wednesday was when it went off because on Wednesday was when I did the Hebrew Israelite hangout. And I can show you the hold on a minute. Okay, the phone's in the other room. I think the battery's dead. But later on, I'll show you guys the text message. The last text message I received from Shanny. I have Boost Mobile, by the way, if you guys don't know. The last message I received from Shanny was, now mind you, I wasn't able to respond, but on Wednesday I did Bring It Hebrew Israelites, and remember Jacob wanted to come into the room. she gave me a message saying that the guy gave me his email address 4 different times. I could not respond because Bruce Mobile told me I didn't have enough credit to be able to respond. Okay? So, of course, I'm going to be called a liar for that one and whatnot, right? Now watch this one right here. This is the latest video she made about called Am I Threatening Her Now? Remember now, I'm a Shanny supporter. I'm a Shanny supporter.
He's a Shanny supporter. She enables him and gives him gifts, and he's a supporter. Yeah, I call Gman a little dude. He's like 120 pounds soaking wet, like 5'4" or some shit. He's not like 5. He's like 5'6", I think, actually. He's around 5'6". Yeah, he is a little dude to me.
I'm a Shanny supporter. And she's doing this. All right, so let's actually play this here. No, you made a YouTube video telling me to get out of your house. What you fail to remember, Shanny, is I spent a lot of money updating this place. And since you want to bring up all of my personal information on here, it's about time I punish you now.
Oh, it's a G-Man punishment coming. Dragnauct is a real man. Okay, why didn't he take care of his kid? That's a good question. I would love to find out, exactly what happened. Oh, there's a video about, an old video that somebody found recently about G-Man's, disappearing family members. So, yeah.
See, when I got here, Shanny, and I'm not going to talk about all of it. I'm going to let you keep talking, and then I'm going to talk about how this house was. Okay? When I came here, this roof was on the ground. The
roof was on fire.
Had collapsed in here. I had to fix all of that.
Freedom.
Such a stark contrast in lifestyles. Only a few years ago, Shanny was out running from Gman. Now she's pretty much completely sedentary, like a sponge.
Like a sponge that soaks up cat piss.
That. Honey, that costs money to do that. And whatever money I had in my savings or whatever, gone from fixing this place.
Now, he was able to save up money after he lied to people and told them that he did not have a job. Because prior to coming here, he was living in the attic. And that's when he was making all the threats towards me and others, and then saying that he was going to lose his job. In fact, the video that we end up finding is where he's planning to lose his job and that he's planning for me to then pay his bills. He then had True Empiricism and others spread around his PayPal to give him money. That money that he ended up getting went into the savings, presumably, to update the house, according to Gman, because that's where his savings went to. Now, how he planned to live off of savings and not work is your guess is as good as mine, but he ended up begging Shanny for money, and then that's why he's in the situation he's in now. It's really fucked up. It is actually really fucked up. Kent Hoven's CPA, was G-Man indoctrinated as a kid? Serious question. So he grew up with a pretty abusive Nation of Islam stepfather and a fairly kind of passive Christian mother. Indoctrination really wasn't huge, but religion was enforced. So the kind of sway of religion was in his household, but probably not as influential as I would say my upbringing. Actually, you could probably make an argument for both. I'd have to find a video where he's describing it, but he's an unreliable narrator, so it's kind of hard to tell. But from my recollection, he was definitely influenced heavily by the strong kind of anti-white, pro-God notions within the household.
Freedom.
I think he is still upset over the convo with me. Poor little G-Man. Thanks for the content, little dude. Wash your pay G-Man. All hail the Dragon King.
Yeah, he's not gonna watch his pee-pee.
You don't get is this Jesus H. Christ? He knows he's not Jesus. He is an actor from Hollywood paid to act and dress like Jesus.
Now, what is this all about here, guys? This ain't got nothing to do with whatever money that she gave me and what. It has nothing to do with that.
Here we go back to the original story.
She's offended by the video that I made this morning. I'll prove it when I show you the first 2 videos she made today. Okay? She's offended by the video I made about Jesus H. Christ. She actually lied in her video and said I talked about Revelation Noodz.
Okay, so here's where anytime you bring up anything with Gman, it's going to be an issue. Gman does not understand that there's a cascade of events that happens when you have a problem with people. Gman is not held accountable by Veckel, by Spoken, True Empiricism, family members. He's not. He's able to throw bullshit up and get away from it. So when you are talking to someone and they talk about the cascade of events that led them to have some animus towards you, you understand that, okay, I did X and then I found out Y, which made it worse, and now we're at Z. With Z is the big blow up, the confrontation. G-Man does not understand that fundamentally at all. The issue that G-Man initially ran into, like I said, the catalyst, was him going after somebody Shanny likes, somebody that Shanny has been working with behind the scenes, and that G-Man just randomly attacking people isn't a part of the deal. Now, that was the issue initially. Then Shanny found out that he had been mishandling funds. That takes a larger role in the dispute because the doing a video thing is easily forgivable. If you could put them on tiers. The top tier of concern is the misappropriation of funds. Lower tier would be him doing YouTube videos. He doesn't understand that. It's if you understand the chronology of what's going on, you can kind of get a idea of, okay, this happened, okay, this precipitated this, and this. But when you're explaining it to him, and I've tried this before, he fundamentally does not get that his actions have consequences, nor does he understand that people will stratify issues based on their severity, and that financial issues are typically at the top tier, because for G-Man, he can do unscrupulous things with money, and it's fine as long as it benefits him. And that's what leads me to think that he does things and tries to grift people, right? So the fact that he doesn't get that, I think, is a result. For one, he can't really empathize with people, and two, he will do whatever he needs to get money. He doesn't really have any job skills per se. He doesn't have any education to really speak of. So if just getting money and begging and misleading people is something that's going to garner him funds, he is going to do it, and he has done it.
I didn't bring up Revelation Noodz. I brought up that Jesus H. Christ guy. So Shanny, I got about 7 minutes. Why don't you come in here so you can look like an idiot in front of everybody and have to admit you were wrong again? Or do I need to play the video when you was with...
So Christina Blackfeather says, Drag, this is where he donated to me when I lost my job from the surgery. The money came initially from Shanny. Yeah.
Chafee the odd, or whatever the heck his name was, when I went into your room and I told you right to your girl the man was using you and doing all that other stuff and whatnot. I ain't got no problem with that.
He's not a false messiah. He's not going out there and saying, well, he is saying, I am your Lord and Master Messiah, but it's a joke.
The man went in public, asked people were they masturbators, then gave them sex toys, and claimed to be Jesus. This apparently doesn't offend you. I want you to think about that in a minute. It does not offend you that an imposter is pretending to be Jesus.
We're going to skip forward a bit, because she actually enters the room here in a second.
I want to know why she gave me this house. That's all I want to know. I want to know why they gave this to me. Did they give it to me so they can hoard it over my face and try to control me? That's all I want to know. Before I take action for all of this headache and whatnot, because right now, we're on pain and suffering right now. That's what we're on right now. All I want to know is why did they give me this? And Shanny, I think. Hold on a minute. Let me broadcast you before we get sniped because it's coming. I already know it. Okay, so.
All right, folks, here we go. Meat and potatoes. This is the showdown. This is it.
So what is your problem with me now, Shanny?
You are beyond lying about me, first of all. Beyond lying.
Right,
beyond. Beyond lying.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I need to reimburse you? Reimburse you of what, bitch?
Oh, brother. Number one, you're on a Christian channel. Can you please stop cussing on my channel? Please.
Oh, no. You're in my house.
A channel of the Lord, and I would appreciate it.
You're in my house.
On my channel.
In my house. Using my electricity and using my water and using everything I paid for you. To help you out. Because I thought you were a believer in Christ. I thought you wouldn't need someone.
Okay, Shannon.
She is red.
Stout, if you're watching this, Shannon Stout, I want you to pay attention to this. So you believe cussing's okay then? Okay, cool. Okay, because you pay for everything that gives you permission to cuss and whatnot. Tell me, how are you any different from your mother right now? But keep acting like that right now. Go ahead. You want to talk about this, Shannon? Let's talk about this. Why did you give me this house?
Because I thought you were doing good work for the Lord.
Matthew chapter 6. Matthew chapter 6.
Shut the fuck up about the Bible.
I love Jesus. I don't play Jesus.
Now, remember when I said earlier that there's typically 3 types of Christians that I run into, right? There's ones that really don't have much of a personality. There's nothing to them, and they just kind of become the embodiment of Christian, right? You kind of attack an argument they may make, and they personally feel offended. Now, there's a second type, which I think most Christians fit in, which are the ones that kind of augment themselves with Christianity. Many believe that they are flawed in some way, shape, or form, and they'll use Christianity or religion to edify themselves. And then there's the third category, where people use religion to defend themselves from any type of criticism, valid or not, and to attack people. Now, keep that in mind when you're listening to what Shanny's saying and what Gman responds with. Somebody tagged me, actually. Drag, I work 40 to 60 hours at my job, fast-paced environments. I don't think Gman will be able to hang at my job, especially work at airport. Got to meet those times, LAX. Yeah, he can't. Anything fast-paced that requires finesse, he's not really good at.
Talk to me. I'm talking to you.
Matthew chapter 6.
G-Man.
I can't hear you. It's my channel, and I can actually read my Bible on my channel.
You're using right now, so let's just think about that, G-Man.
Okay, Matthew chapter 6. Take heed.
G-Man, you are being Ron right now.
Ron.
I'm trying to read the Bible. Okay, so you don't want me to read the Bible now. Great. So I can't read the Bible. I can't read the Bible. And none of that stuff and whatnot. By the way, Shanny, I'm not deleting this video.
I'm not telling you can't read the Bible. I'm telling you I don't want to talk to the Bible. You said you wanted to talk to me.
Okay. So who am I supposed to listen to? Okay, so listen. Shanny, the same rules I have on my channel apply for everybody, Shanny. Same rules on my channel apply for everybody, Shanny. Okay, so who am I supposed to listen to? You or Jesus? Matter of fact, put Rev on here. I want to ask Rev a question. Am I supposed to listen to you or Jesus? Put him on here. I want everybody to hear this. So
the financial improprieties that Gman has got himself entangled in has to do with Jesus. It has to do with the Bible. It has to do with religion, and not him being irresponsible with finances. Him misusing funds and misleading someone into thinking that he was using the funds for something he was not. You see how when he is faced with a moral conundrum, that he throws up that flak wall in order to avoid having been called out for his actions. He knows he's wrong. Ron. He knows he's Ron. But this way, he can make it a theological issue rather than him grifting.
Yes, listen to Jesus. You already know
Great.
that.
So if I get
Okay, I'm not arguing with you, Gman. We're gonna have a discussion. No, we're not gonna have a debate. I don't debate. You already know that.
I am not debating, Shanny. Let me finish, Shanny.
Yes, you are. Do not debate me. I am not gonna debate.
You won't even let me talk. You're Hebrew Israelites right now. Let me finish talking, okay? So the bottom line is this, okay?
That's all you do. You've talked enough. All you done was slander me, asshole.
Okay, so here's the thing now.
All you done is slander me. All you did was slander me. That's what you did. That's what you did. Where did the money go? Where did the money go, Gman?
I want to finish saying what I was saying, Shanny. Shanny, I want to finish saying what I was saying, Shanny. I want to finish saying what I was saying, Shanny. Okay?
Oh, really? Okay. Put up the PayPal so I can show you. 2 weeks ago, I gave you $200.
Anyway, listen.
2 weeks ago, I gave you $200. Why didn't you pay for your phone then, Gman?
Okay, so I already.
For that, I gave you money to pay for your phone. Why didn't you pay your phone then, Gman? You want to try to make this about maybe it's selfish.
Two people can't talk at the same time, Shanny. But if I kick her out of here, I'm a bad guy, right? I'm a bad guy if I kick her out of here. You gotta let me talk, Shanny. You gotta let me talk. If it's just gonna be you, okay, and you're gonna expose yourself.
You're a liar and a thief, Gary.
I'm just gonna be quiet. You're gonna expose yourself. Show me the spirit of self-control here for a moment. The fruit of the spirit. Show me the spirit of self-control.
You really are the one really talking about the spirit of self-control. You? Seriously, you? You? Spirit of self-control, you? Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what I thought. Be silent.
Let me tell y'all something, right? I had to go get some more water, so. Doesn't matter how many times I watch this shit. It gets better every time. Two very dysfunctional people, two very uneducated and absolutely repulsive, people are entangled within one another's bullshit. And so this is their conflict resolution. It's wonderful. It is. They try to bring religion into it, and man, it didn't work at all. Absolutely not. Jesus is not fixing this one. Maybe it's not a religious issue. Maybe it's an issue of two people who should have never gotten to any type of agreement because both of them are users. Both of them are dysfunctional, and both of them have no sort of class or social decorum. But I don't have to tell you all that. You all can see it for yourself. Shanny's turning bright red from the fury of dealing with someone that she knows, and she's even indicating that has poor self-control. So you have to ask yourself a question. If she knows that this person has all these flaws and is difficult to deal with and can't really be controlled, why do you think that holding a house or funds over their heads is going to really work long term? Why do you think that? And for Gman, who knows how fickle Shanny is, and he's even talked about how she uses money to bribe people into doing things, what makes you think that you are going to be immune from that? Edry Nice says the one time that I'm 100% agreeing with Shanny is spirit of self-control my ass. Yeah, there's a few. It goes back and forth. There's a few times where Shanny hits the nail on the head. She's absolutely right. And then there are times where Gman hits the nail on the head and he's absolutely right. But they already knew this about one another. None of this is new. None of it. None of it is new. And at any point in time, they're referencing each other's historical behavior with other people before they got into this agreement of whatever it was. So it's funny now that it all comes to the surface, but it shows you something about Shanny and Gman. They will ignore every red flag just to form some weird pseudo-alliance on the internet with one another to repel the people who are going to chastise them or offer them critique or criticism. The same type of criticism that they offer other people. Shanny and Gman have no right at any point in time to judge anyone else. This shit show here should tell you everything that you need to know about them. right here. Right here.
Okay, so this is her main channel, Shanny for Christ here. Shanny made several videos today lying about me, saying.
I lie about you.
Wait a minute, hold on a minute. Hold on.
You're the one that's doing the prosecution. How did I lie about you?
This video you made was this. Okay, you made a video saying 3 years of ministry ruined. Then you made an Eviction video. Then you made another video getting mad at me about me saying that Jesus H was long, which had nothing to do with Rev, but you brought that up. All right.
You can't be hypocritical, idiot.
You're threatening me now. You made all these ridiculous videos today.
You know what hypocrite is? Two of your best friends have fucking long hair.
That's what you're doing right now.
For it.
Okay. So
who have long hair? Who are your best friends?
Okay. So going back.
So Shanny's pointing out a bit of hypocrisy with Gman, something that all of us pointed out too. Gman went on a whole tirade about people with long hair. But he has never said anything to his buddy True Empiricism. Let me show you a picture. So take a look at this guy right here. Take a look at this guy here. Now, this is one of G-Man's main enablers. You hear him mention True or TE, or this is the same guy. This is him who y'all looking at, right? This guy has long hair, longer than my wife. My wife hasn't even had braids as long as this guy's hair. Ever since I've seen him on the internet, same amount of time as G-Man, he's had long hair. I've never heard G-Man mention it to him, ever. Ever mention anything about long hair. He will never say anything because G-Man lacks integrity. And Shanny's pointing this out. G-Man picks and chooses. So if Jesus H. Christ were to become a Christian and become one of G-Man's enablers, he would also be granted this immunity. This is why you should never take G-Man seriously at any point in time when he says anything. If there's a standard that he thinks he's going to establish, don't listen to him. He's full of shit and he's a liar. This guy here has had long hair ever since G-Man has known him. He is creepy looking, but he will never receive G-Man's ire, ever, as long as he toes the line and kisses G-Man's ass.
Shanny, we both can't talk at the same time. You can't talk at the same time.
That's what you got me mad. You got me mad. You lied to me about money, G-Man. I told you not to lie about me. Lie to me about money.
Let me talk, Shanny. Shanny, you gotta let me talk, Shanny. If you don't let me talk, you're guilty, Shanny. You're guilty, Shanny. You're guilty, Shanny.
Fucking admit it now.
So anyway, Shanny.
Why don't you address it, G-Man? Why don't you address about the phone?
People how their house look when I first got here. I'm gonna show people how their house look when I first got here.
Why did you lie about it?
Okay, you
can pay for the phone when I gave you the money.
Are you gonna let me finish? Are you gonna let me talk? Blah 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 blah. Are you gonna let me talk?
You're a liar.
I'm a liar. I haven't said nothing. You won't.
You're a liar. You're a liar.
I want the Christians to come in here, and I want you guys to see how she's behaving right now. So
I don't care. You need to answer that question. What happened to the money that I gave you for the phone?
Oh, spoken. She won't even let me talk.
What happened with the money I gave you for the phone?
Keep talking.
Now she's yelling. She is quite irate. She is quite irate, and so she's telling him that you lied to me about the phone and the money. You lied to me. And I can hear her say it 50, 60 times. At any point in time, do y'all hear G-Man acknowledging why she's upset? He's saying that she is. He can visually see that she's upset. She's red. He can hear her yell. But he at no point in time acknowledges the very thing that she's mad and red about. Notice how he's going to continue to avoid that. There's a reason.
Shanny, if he used, hey Shanny, real quick, can I say something? If he used that money for food, wouldn't that be better than turning his phone on? Which he said he used it for food.
He asked me specifically, crying on the phone, asking for money for his
I wasn't crying on the phone. I was not crying on the phone, and I got witnesses that show you that. No, I was not crying on the phone.
Like all the rest of them fucking liars here.
So anyways,
But Shanny, if he using
Robert, Shanny, you be quiet, Shanny, let me talk.
Electricity and
This is how they win debates on here. Blah 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 blah. Don't let nobody.
So I love Spoken's interjection here. Well, if he used it on money, wouldn't that be better? No. If I go out and I solicit funds from somebody, from a group of people, doesn't matter, and I say I'm going to use this money to fix my son's bike, right? This is the bike fixing fund. And so okay, cool, yeah, your son could use a bike. Oh, sure, fine, whatever. And then I go buy myself lunch. Well, I bought myself food. That's better, right? No, it's not. No, it's not. You are deceiving people. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Now, in some cases, if I said, you know what, I'm going to actually donate this to charity, okay, cool, but I would have liked to know that to begin with, you're still deceiving people. You're still fucking deceiving people. There's no transparency there. Now, if you decide, you say, you know what, look, folks who gave me money, I'm going to use this for something else. You might want to clear that with them first. Just as a means of, again, of transparency. But when I tell y'all that these guys, Spoken and True Empiricism and Veckel, are enablers, this is an example of what I'm talking about here. Rather than having integrity, rather than holding Gman accountable, their only role is to make sure that his ego is intact and that to absolve him from any responsibility. And that's Spoken's role right now. That's all that you're going to hear him do. He knows now exactly what his role is online in his relationship with Gman. Rather than saying, look, Gman, you need to make this right. If you said that you were getting funds from her for your phone, that phone should have been paid off. If you use extra for food, you know, she can be mad at that, fine, whatever. But that's what you told her you were going to use it for. And you didn't do that, right? There's a breakdown in trust because of your actions. That's it. And Spoken's not going to do that. He's a dishonest piece of shit just like Gman. So people who are within Gman's inner circle know that dishonesty is valued over integrity at all times. Perfect example. You meant to say, yeah, you said that, Ron. You said if he uses it for money, I'm using it for food. I'm sorry, thank you. If you use it for food, thank you. Even Kyle will post receipts for the GoFundMe. Right. When Kyle got more receipts than you know something's up. Hi, Kyle, by the way.
I say anything. Come on. I can't answer a question if you're talking, Shanny.
Answer my question. What
I can't answer a question if you're talking, Shanny. I can't answer a question if you're talking.
What did you do with the money?
Okay, so
what did you do with my money?
Let's start from December, and let's see if you can catch up this time, okay? You gave me $100 for Christmas.
Okay, so the $100 for Christmas, that's the screenshot that I keep showing y'all.
And before that, you gave me $200 for food, okay?
No.
January, we're not in January yet. Shut
You're
up.
Liar.
Blah, 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 blah. Come on, Shanny, keep talking. Keep talking, Shanny. Okay? Then January got here. All right. You gave me $200 for food. All right. You gave
2
me
weeks ago.
Let me finish.
2 weeks ago.
Annie, you gotta let me finish. If we was in court, the judge would throw you in jail because you were
in court. So shove it up your ass.
Let me talk, okay? Because I'm gonna bring my proof. I already know what I'm talking about.
I don't give a shit what your proof is. You're a liar.
I have two phones. I have the ministry phone and I have my regular phone. My other phone, the battery is dead in the other room. The first $55 that she gave me, I used that to pay my normal phone bill.
And why is it on?
Gave me another.
Why isn't it on anymore?
Let me finish.
Why isn't it on anymore?
Oh my God, let me finish.
All right, so Shanny's quite upset. G-Man's going to explain here in a few seconds where the money actually went to.
Okay. Okay. So she gave me some money to pay the ministry to pay the ministry thingy, in which I decided to actually pay Blog Talk Radio.
Okay. to pay the ministry thingy, the ministry thingy, his ministry phone. Okay, that's the designation for a separate phone that he has for his Gman versus Black Hebrew Israelite, yada 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 yada. That phone number is posted on his YouTube channel, his main Gman YouTube channel. His personal phone, obviously, that he doesn't use for that, that's what she wants him to have on. But he decided not to pay that. The money that Shanny gave him was specifically for his personal phone to stay on, to keep in contact with her and Rev. He decided he didn't want to do that after asking her money for that particular phone specifically. He made an executive decision that he was going to ask for money for that phone and then use it for something else. Edward Knight says, unless I'm mistaken, if they were in court, he'd be called out for bringing up unimportant shit. Oh, absolutely. He brings up irrelevant shit all the time. But it's G-Man's understanding of court is Judge Judy, Judge Joe Brown, and, other TV shows. Let's see. Nick James says, a slave fighting the slave master. Now the relationship renewed. Can't wait for the next meltdown. Yeah. No, I actually was naming my response videos hashtag eviction notice. And I think the title was like the slave is upset. The slave escapes the plantation. The slave rebels. Like I had all type of names for it. But again, they weren't actually reviewing this. This is just kind of like we would all sit and watch this shit, right? We're all in the live chat, just dying laughing for those of us who could talk. And then I forgot how we were communicating because I don't think we had Discord back then. Did we? I don't think we had Discord. I don't think we were on Discord yet. No, this was a little bit before Discord. And this was absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Okay.
You lied to me about the phone to pay Blog Talk TV when
again, I paid Blog Talk Radio.
My money.
You gotta let me, Shanny. If you're not gonna be quiet. If you're not gonna be quiet, Shanny, I'm gonna mute you. Shanny, I'm gonna tell you this one more time, Shanny. Shanny, if you're not gonna be quiet, I'm gonna mute you. Okay. The bottom line is this: I used the money for Blog Talk Radio.
January 10th,
you gave me
$200.
Shanny.
December 31st.
Shanny, let me finish, Shanny.
$100. December 21st, $51. November 20th.
Okay, guys, I have to mute her. I'm sorry because I'm in the middle of talking.
So, when you start giving G-Man receipts, have y'all noticed that he likes to mute people? Shanny was reading off all of the transactions that she had been giving him since before he moved in. Because mind you, back in July, he had already been setting up a few things. It was G+. Thank you. Yeah, it was G+. He had been setting up this whole scheme, including him planning to lose his job. He actually says that in this video that I have, and I'll play that. Actually, it'll probably be made into a video and released later to kind of show y'all. Back in September, while he was doing the prep going back and forth, Shanny was helping to pay for that Uber. And so she's reading off transactions since that point, back in 2018, up into now, which this is around late January 2019. And so that's showing a pattern, essentially, of G-Man getting money from her and Rev since then to do whatever the hell he wants to, under certain stipulations, which G-Man clearly can't meet. Nick James says, around this I was griefing, so lost a family member, so when G-Man says us atheists or dragoons, I don't know what he's talking about during this timeline. So G-Man has always, I'll say lately, had this generalization. Well, actually, no, I can say always. There's always been a hasty generalization made where G-Man thinks that everyone who doesn't like him is inherently an atheist. And then he's slowly morphed that into, well, they have to be an atheist and they have to always agree with me. And they always have to then, they agree with me, they're a dragoon. So you could have been ignorant to this. and not even been paying attention. And because you go, man, that was messed up what Gman did, you're automatically thrown in that category. He doesn't have to know anything about you because he's a victim. He's always going to be a victim. Nothing he does is wrong. Ron, and he is always justified in his actions, even misappropriating funds.
She gave me another $200 for food. I'm trying to go through one side of the story. She gave me $200. Oh my God. Shanny, you are getting away with murder right now, Shanny, because you know what I would normally do. And
I know, but I can get away with it right now.
So the Bible says she gave me $200 and I used it for food. Okay? So,
and what did you ask for?
ladies and gentlemen, Shanny, what did I say, Shanny? What did I say, Shanny? Repeat to me what I said, Shanny.
Yeah, this is how you treat people who give you things, huh?
What did I say, Shanny?
This is how you treat people.
No, Shanny, you were listening to me, right? Why you were talking? What did I just say, Shanny?
Sure.
I told you guys, it wasn't gonna take that long.
Oh yeah. Yes, I told you guys. I told you. I took someone's money and I used them. Yeah, that's what you do.
Nobody used you.
Can I be a moderator?
Already admitted that you're bad.
Can I act as a moderator?
Right. And I got news for you.
This is glorious. Now, Spoke, can I be a moderator? Can I do? No.
I'm gonna make another video about Jesus H.
This has nothing to do with it. This is between me and you.
I'm going to respond to every blasphemous video on that channel. Every last one of them. You don't stop.
I need another man to back you up to a woman, you cowardly bitch.
I'm gonna go after that Christian witch as well.
Why do you need another man to back you up? Why?
I'm gonna go after that Christian witch too. So now the point is this.
You're gonna go after the Christian witch? You're calling me a Christian witch?
So if you haven't noticed, Gman doesn't really have a real good, I guess, target acquisition process. It's there's nothing really set in stone. It's people that draw his ire just so happen to coincide with his personal issues with them, or what he sees as the issue. So if there is somebody who doesn't fit his, I guess, very strict definition of what a Christian is, someone doesn't kiss his ass, and they're an enemy of one of his ass kissers, then they become a target. It's not the Holy Spirit. It's not anything that you could say that's, I guess, objective. G-Man's simply going to go after people that he finds convenient. If it's going to hurt you, even if it's my 9-year-old, G-Man's gone after my kid because it fits his Christian interpretation of what a Christian should do, Christian religion, Christian. So he goes after my wife. My wife's not an atheist, but still does not actually care. This is what the G-Man do.
Wait a minute. I would like to talk to Rev for a moment. Without you interrupting, I like to talk to Rev. I would like to talk to Rev if you don't mind.
Oh, you're calling.
Rev was pretty much indisposed at this period of time. If you didn't catch from the earlier video, he could barely form complete sentences.
Calling me a witch now?
No, I didn't. I said I'm going to respond to a Christian witch. Your friend. You took a screenshot of what I'm talking about.
I don't have her as a friend anymore, if you didn't realize.
You didn't listen, Shanny. You hear what you want to hear.
Well, some irony.
You're wrong.
I'm
wrong.
Hey, true, Shanny, you are in the wrong here. Shanny, you are in the wrong here.
Man.
Oh God, man.
We're gonna pay for your bill and you didn't.
Again, so you hear spoken. Oh, can I be a moderator? Oh, Shanny, you're in the wrong here. At no point in time does Spoken actually say anything against G-Man. He's here to simply kiss G-Man's ass continuously. That is it. That is. I don't know what it is with people calling themselves a moderator or calling themselves objective or calling themselves, the peacemaker, mediator, whatever. And it's clear where their allegiance is. And it's not to the truth. It's not to being impartial. It's to kiss ass. That is it. Have you heard anything that Spoken has actually said to try and mitigate any of the stuff that's going on here that even slightly resembles somebody objective? No. No. So if Gman is curious as to why I don't consider any of his dick suckers to be reliable sources of information, it's stuff like this. There's no reason anybody should take Spoken seriously, in my personal opinion. This is a perfect example of why he should never be taken seriously, ever. Ever.
Man.
Hey, Shanny, you in the wrong here.
Man, that's crazy.
Okay, this is you mind your own fucking business.
And there you go.
First of all,
Shanny, you made it public.
Business. He made
Shanny, you made it public. It's everyone's business now. You made it public.
You made it public,
Yeah, you made it public, so everyone.
Whoa! Hold on for a second. Hold on for a G-Man. G-Man. What are you saying, G-Man? That if somebody makes something public, then other people can talk about it? No, that can't be the case. G-Man, I could have swore.
Okay,
I could have swore. You made a video a while ago. Where is it? Here it is.
That doesn't know what happened.
Man, 6 things Dragnauct should be concerned with. That's interesting. Let's see.
One point that I want to bring up today is Dragnauct needs to learn how to mind his business. Dragnauct doesn't know what happened between me and Shanny. What he does know is what Shanny has said in videos and what I have said in videos.
That's real interesting, isn't it, folks? Real fucking interesting that he says that. But yet,
first of all,
Shanny, you made it public.
business.
Shanny, you made it public. It's everyone's business now. You made it public.
You made it public,
Yeah,
Shanny.
you made it public, so everyone knows it's everyone's business.
Public.
now I'm going to respond to G-Man's stupidity with his own words. You made it public. It's everyone's business, G-Man. This is the bullshit that I'm talking about, y'all. When I tell y'all that it's if you let G-Man talk enough, you see how easy that was for me? Do you see how easy? I knew exactly where to go. I was just playing around. I knew it was a fucking video. But it's there, and that's not the only one, too. There's actually another video where he references this shit. He tells other people they need to mind their business, and then someone's told him it's in public, G-Man. It becomes. Shanny said the same thing. Shanny said the same exact thing. The same exact thing. It's not hard. You just let him talk long enough, and he will contradict himself. It's okay for G-Man to bring up public stuff from people's videos and talk about it, but it's not okay when someone does it to him. That should tell you everything, again, you need to know, again, why G-Man should not ever be taken seriously. He can't even live by his own bullshit. It's self-serving. And yes, he will show his ass every time. Every single time. He is a whole ass hypocrite. Shanny too. This is amazing.
Look at that stuff.
Look at what I got. Look at what I got. I'm a hot shot now. Look at me.
Hey, Shanny, you're not representing Christ right now.
Still sucking G-Man's dick.
No, I'm representing myself.
No, you ain't representing
your Christianity, though.
Myself.
Where's your Christianity?
Myself.
Your Christianity is denoted by your willingness to accept G-Man's bullshit. Remember when I told y'all that that's a key feature of being one of G-Man's dick suckers, and here, Spoken is getting, or attempting to get Shanny in line with that.
Is your name not Christianity?
He's representing Satan right now.
It's none of his business. It's none of his business. This is between me and you. This is between me and you.
Okay.
Shanny, is your name not Shanny for Christ?
This is between me and you.
Are you a Christian, Shanny?
This is between me and you.
Shanny, I'm asking you a question. Are you a Christian, yes or no?
No, I ain't gonna take this fucking dog pound.
Are you a Christian, yes or no?
Everything. I give you everything.
I'm going to read the book of Galatians here now, and I'm going to read about the fruits of the Spirit.
Tomorrow?
You know what about the Bible. That's why you wanted to get me high, right, Shanny? That's why you wanted to get me high, right, Shanny? You wanted to get me high.
Ooh.
Let's talk about this stuff, Shanny. Let's talk about this.
Let's talk about this.
The least you can do, G-Man, is to let me get you high. You want to talk about this, Shanny? Let's talk about this.
Shanny, you tried. Shanny, you tried to give me the weeds. No. You wanted to corrupt me, Shanny. I'm sorry, I just want to do that. He's so upset. So Shanny tells him, hey, there's still some weed we left. We couldn't bring it on the plane, obviously. If you're going to stay in the house, you might as well kick back and get high. Probably one of the nicest things Shanny ever told anybody, and now it's become a point of contention. Like, this is absolutely hilarious to me. Absolutely fucking hilarious. Again, I love watching this shit back, because I was like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? This is what he's upset with?
And you want to know what?
I'm so horrible
I
person.
want to talk to Red. Something he told me on the phone.
And try not having electricity tomorrow, motherfucker.
Exactly. She can't. She. There's something wrong with her. She actually said that to me on the phone. Oh, I gave you a house, so the least you can do is let me get you high.
Hey, real quick, G-Man. So you took before and after pictures of the house, right?
Yes, I got them. Yes, and I have a lot of. I also have a lot of receipts proving that I had contractors come here and do a whole lot of work. This woman owes me a lot. Once I get kicked out of here, they owe me a lot of money, and I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
Not
you're gonna win that lawsuit
in this Commonwealth that I'm living in right
You're gonna win that lawsuit, yeah. No lawsuit happened. G-Man didn't get shit. Spoiler alert.
now. That's actually gonna protect me for what she's trying to do.
If she does try to do all that stuff to you, you are gonna win that lawsuit. Do you have any tenant agreement or anything like that?
No, I don't have nothing. And
Now, I would have to ask you something for Spoken's sage legal advice here, because we all know that he's very knowledgeable on topics and everything and whatnot. How would he have known the outcome of a legal battle before he knew whether or not he had a tenant agreement? Does that make sense to anybody? He had no idea about any of that stuff. There's no legal documentation, nothing connecting Gman to this residence. But somehow Spoken knew the outcome of the lawsuit. And I get it. You need to kiss Gman's ass, Spoken, but at least don't make it this obvious that you are clearly biased and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I've been bugging her for 6 months. And I've always been suspicious about that. See, what I think is this. I think that she tried to get me to come here and do a bunch of free work for her so she can throw me out later. That's what I think this whole thing was about. Because I fixed this entire place up.
If she was thinking about getting you to do free work, why would she have been giving you money steadily since last September? That makes no sense.
Yeah, no, you're gonna win that lawsuit. I mean, I think I'm no law. I don't know much about the law, but
clearly,
the little I do know, it kind of seems like an easy case for you.
It's an
easy case of what? You were given a house for free, given permission to work on it, given money to live in the residence, and you had all the utilities paid for you, and you decided you wanted to work on the house. What is there to win exactly?
Vacancy law that they have over here that I'm going to use against them when they come, because when I came here, right? So I don't want to say too much about it, about the state of the house and everything. I'm going to wait until I get in front of a judge, and like I said, I know what I'm going to get. She's going to have to pay me everything. Once I'm kicked out of here, every nickel that I put into this, I'm going to get back. You understand what I'm saying? So Shanny, I think that she gave this to me to get some free work in here done for herself. That's what I think. And then she's on here lying to everybody Spoken and saying that I said that she's using Rev. I never said that. What I said was I was defending her against people who said that she was using them. And I got the video proof on my channel. I ain't got no problem showing that to a judge either.
Okay, so right here, Dragnauct Gman needs to get high. Gman smokes some weed and get high, relax. Yeah, he does need to. He recoils when he drinks alcohol, but I don't think he's ready for any of the devil's lettuce. Some of you who may have kind of missed a little bit of Rev earlier in the video, and you heard kind of sort of him talk, he was not coherent at all. In fact, there's quite a few of us that were on G Plus that said, well, Shanny, how are you bragging about having sex with him when he can barely move? We like any time that we saw Rev on camera, he could barely speak. He's clearly not in his right mind. How can he consent to sex if he can't really speak? Right? Him getting hard because you're playing with him is not consent. And that actually became quite a big issue. And so during this period of time, mind you, this is mid 2018 that this is occurring, Gman is defending Shanny. Now, it's not that Gman understands consent, because he does not. Gman knows that he needs to defend someone giving him money because he was being paid since then. These are when the allegations were swarming about, and Sabella's in the chat. Many other people can tell you that a lot of us were concerned about that, and she got obviously offended by it. Now, G-Man, being the good supplicant that he is, was defending, they're in love, you atheists are making stuff up, real fine. Now that he's upset with them, now he believes the allegations. And you see how easy it is for him to entertain certain positions on topics based on whether or not he's getting paid, based on whether or not it's beneficial for him. This is a sign of dishonesty. This is G-Man Dishonesty 101.
This whole thing is messy. I don't understand why it all started. I mean, I get it because you were calling out the dude named Jesus Christ on YouTube who absolutely needed to be called out, and she was defending him, which really baffles me. I don't understand how you can defend a dude named Jesus Christ who's dressed up as Jesus Christ and telling people to masturbate and giving out sex toys.
All right, spoken. Rev,
all right, yeah, I'm gonna mute.
Stay spoken, so don't interrupt. I want to hear what he got to say. Rev, listen to me, Rev. All right, Shanny is taking a lot of what happened today out of proportion. All right, I made a video about a guy named Jesus H. Christ. Okay, oh my God, can I finish, please? Okay.
So G-Man's upset that people keep cutting him off. Weird.
So what happened was, I made a video against a guy by the name of Jesus H. Christ. He had long hair, and I made a comment about it. I was quoting 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 14 and 15. It tells you right there that it's a shame for a man, or it goes against nature, rather, for a man to have long hair. And it's a shame for a woman to cut her hair. So I was actually paraphrasing that with my video and whatnot, and then she got offended and made all these videos and whatnot. Then on top of that, she's saying that I'm using her. Where is this coming from?
Where is it coming from?
Rev, I'm talking to you, Rev. I understand like where you are and everything and whatnot, but I'm talking to you. All right?
Yeah.
You don't got to look at Shanny. If I did something wrong, let me know I did something wrong. But I don't believe I did anything wrong by doing what the Lord called me to do, and that's speaking out against Jesus H. Christ. She even said that there's nothing wrong with me making a video response. You understand what I'm sorry? No, not making a video response. That's doing what the Lord told me to do. All right? Mm-hmm. Please explain to your newlywed wife that I am obligated and bound to do what my Savior told me to do, and I am not. God.
So you notice that Rev seems a bit withdrawn. Doesn't really seem like, if you look at, he's just kind of barely there. This is what we're talking about.
Get off the high horse.
Could you please tell her that, Rev? And if you,
yes, and I didn't do anything that Jesus told me to do, huh, G-Man? Did I? Yeah. In it.
Okay, so can I get an answer from Rev? I'm talking to Rev.
And then you bash it. Then you bash the gift you get.
I'm actually asking Rev a question. I want Rev to answer me. Rev, can you answer me, please?
I mean, I don't know what to say, man. I don't.
Okay, I understand that. So My thing is this. I believe that a lot of things are being taken out of proportion. I have a Skype, even though my phone's off. Anybody can call me on Skype at any time. You can contact me on G+.
And see, he still misses the issue. That the issue isn't the fact that nobody can get in contact with you at any point in time ever. The issue is that you, Gman, misled Shanny into thinking that you needed money for a phone, when in reality you use it for something else, and she's upset about that. Now, whether that's really something to get upset about, there's an argument to make, sure, but let's acknowledge what she's actually saying that she's upset with, which I get it. Like, I'd be kind of upset too. But G-Man is doing his very best to obfuscate here. And this is what he does best in any conversation. Even when he says he wants to be taken seriously. People can watch the exchange that I had with him this weekend, where I took his concerns seriously. I brought him the receipts, right, and started explaining it. But then the flak wall went up. Then the muting and the removing started. Because he cannot stand being called out. So, we're actually going to go ahead and stop it here. We are going to play some more of this. It gets better. Oh, it gets better. If y'all see these, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of Shanny rage that happens in this one. So, we're going to get some mileage out of this one video. Anyway, we got to hear the UTI story. We got to see some of that rage. We got to actually hear from Rev a little bit and see that he really wasn't in his right mind at this point in time. So, thanks for watching. And we'll see y'all on part 5 Wednesday. See y'all later.
The announcement is this. I'm going to be doing a Google Hangout next Friday. Not today, but next Friday. And that particular Google Hangout will be focused on primarily one thing. I'm asking everyone to bring their own personal rap to this particular Google Hangout.
I'm going to expose myself on YouTube. I'm going to make a YouTube video embarrassing myself.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I got to tell you about the fabulous, most groovy
Gman. Gman.
You know you're breaking the law right now. I will stomp a mud hole in you, sir. I am not playing Dragnauct.
My name is Gman.
You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is Gman.
You got the audacity.
That's all I got to say.
You got the audacity.
I stole $3,000.
You got the audacity. You got the
Because you don't got no evidence.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
So big in this guy be.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me. You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is Gman.
You got the audacity.
That's all I got to say.
You got the audacity.
I stole $3,000.
You got the audacity. You got the audacity.
Because you don't got no evidence.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
So big in this guy be.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries.
About the answer prayer argument.
I just want to know if God has answered you on them gay thoughts. That's all I wanted to know.
On gay thoughts. Tell me what the gay thoughts thing is all about.
Let me think of another one. Homosexuality is a sin I definitely can't stand, and I hate it with a passion. Let me explain what I mean by that. I'm not into the idea of two guys getting together and having doing things with each other sexually and whatnot, and calling that a relationship or whatever. You know what I mean? That is something that I hate, and I do everything in my power to avoid. As far as me doing any of that kind of stuff and whatnot, I fill my mind with the Word of God. I retain God in my thoughts on this particular topic. I remind myself that scientifically speaking, it is unnatural, and the Holy Spirit was constantly reminding me about God's Word, and it keeps me away from that.
Really?
Yeah.
We all know you. We all know you over here thinking about dick and trying to pray the thought to
I know it.
Asking
I know it. I know it.
Praise the Dragon Lord, nigga.